So remember the whole AMD GPU thing on Exynos chips coming soon? We gotta talk, because yes, we have some new positive and negative reports from the Galaxy S22 series. It looks like Apple is having a worse time than we thought with the iPhone 13's production, and Facebook and Snapchat apparently are still looking for ways to track you, even with Apple's features, and I've actually proven it's true. I'm Jaime Rivera, and a little personal news aside from signing up for a marathon. Today would be the third week of zero alcohol consumption, because I kind of overdid it in the pandemic. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with Facebook and Snapchat, and believe me, it's not for anything positive. We all know how all of these companies' revenue took a hit after Apple rolled up their app tracking transparency, which resulted in ad campaigns trying to convince you that tracking is good for you. Well, a new report from the Financial Times claims that services like Facebook and Snapchat have found a way around Apple's controls in order to track users. Apparently, there's a loophole in Apple's guidelines that allows developers to track users even if they disable tracking. The report mentions that this is an unacknowledged shift that lets companies follow a much looser interpretation of the policy. The guidelines tell developers that applications may not derive data from a device for the purpose of uniquely identifying it. It basically means that services and applications are still tracking users and collecting anonymized data from a group of users rather than collecting it individually. I know, it gets kind of technical, but the report essentially says that Snapchat is allegedly still selling data of their users, and Facebook is looking for new ways to track users that go past Apple's guidelines. And listen, the other day I was traveling, and I was suggested to befriend people that I met there, even without looking them up, so it's clearly been working a bit. Let's see what Apple does about it. Let's talk more directly about Cupertino for the next couple of segments, starting with products we might be getting next year. A couple of days ago, we got an entire roadmap from Mark Gurman, and now Ming-Chi Kuo is chiming in. According to his latest report, Kuo claims that Apple will be launching 3 new Apple Watch models in 2022, these being the Apple Watch Series 8, and Apple Watch SE refresh, and a new rugged variant that's more focused on sports, pretty much agreeing with Gurman's report. He also talked about the iPhone SE, claiming that it'll most likely arrive with the same design and the same 3 gigs of RAM we got last year, but he expects it to improve in 2023, packing 4 gigs of RAM and possibly a larger display. About time, if you ask me. But anyways, Kuo also talked about an update to AirPods Pro. He claims that Cupertino will finally release these AirPods Pro 2 in late 2022 with a significantly upgraded chip. Other reports from Bloomberg also claim that we may be getting a new health sensor or health sensors and stemless design that resembles the Beats Studio Buds or Galaxy Buds. So yeah, I wonder how the chip shortage is affecting Apple, because it feels like every day we hear about new products that are coming, but wait, there's more. Yeah, let's talk about that shortage, and particularly with this year's iPhones, as things don't seem to be getting better for Apple. Last week, we talked about how they've been struggling to meet demand they have with the iPhone 13 series due to this problem and how it might affect their sales. Now we have a report that comes from Nikkei Asia saying that Apple had to halt their iPhone production for several days due to missing components, and we know which those are. Cupertino also works overtime during the holidays to be able to meet demand, but a supply chain manager claims that due to limited components and chips, it made no sense to work overtime these holidays, something that has never happened before. We also know that they've reduced their projections by 10 million units, but this report also mentions that their production in both September and October dropped by 20%, with iPad production dropping by 50% as they're prioritizing phones over tablets. So it looks like the situation isn't getting any better, and it won't for a foreseeable future. Let us know if this has affected you, because I've given up on the PS5, even if Matt Swider is my friend, and I still want him to be my friend. And Matt, come on, buddy. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk about Samsung and the Galaxy S22 series, as it's been a few days since we got some new information. Starting off with a new tweet from Ice Universe, apparently the new Exynos 2200, which was supposed to finally give us the better Samsung chip, actually won't have any advantage against competitors. We thought the whole AMD GPU would fix things, but Ice mentions that it might still be inferior to the Snapdragon, even if CPU performance will be the same. Now, speaking of which, he also claims the CPU of the new Snapdragon, the Dimensity, and the Exynos chips have no significant improvement in performance or power consumption, and that Apple is still ahead in this department. But moving on to a more positive note, let's talk about price tags. According to a new report, the new Galaxy S22 would arrive with an $800 price tag in the States, which is the same price tag we got with the base S21. We didn't get prices for the other two models, but the price for the Ultra has been going down ever since its original release. Let's just hope the shift to making it to a Note won't affect that. Samsung is allegedly hoping to sell around 14 million units of the S22, 8 million of the S22 Plus, and 11 million of the S22 Ultra, meaning they're really banking on the smaller variant. We're expecting these phones to come out sometime around the second week of February. So for today's question, which Galaxy S22 are you picking if you are? Because, if this is going to be a new Galaxy Note, I really want it, but that's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me start New Year's resolutions before the New Year starts. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.